Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is a new series that I wanted to start, and the reason I wanted to start it is because I went to Sephora yesterday and I only picked up 3 items and the total was around $100, and that is just insane. Now, most of my collection had been built from my previous job that I left in Texas and we moved here to Oklahoma. I decided not to work until after summer break, give us a chance to purchase our new home, move in, get settled, and then I would start working again. But when I had my job, I had the extra cash to just blow and go and buy whatever makeup I wanted, so I have a big collection because of that. But now that I'm not working right now, money's a little bit tighter, and when I went to Sephora and got the 3 things, I was really limiting myself. And then when I got the $100 price tag, I nearly fainted because I only got 3 things. So it prompted me to start this series because I do have not a huge collection. There's plenty of YouTubers out there that have a huge collection. A lot of the bigger YouTubers though also get PR packages and things like that. I don't get anything like that. If I ever do get anything sent to me, I tell you guys, but that's not often. All of this is either gifts or I purchased myself. So I feel like I can be a little bit more relatable to those of you on a budget. And I want to go over each kind of section of my makeup. Today we're going to do brows. Next we'll do, I don't know, foundations or blushes, or just, we'll see which one we do next. But I wanted to start with brows because when I went to Sephora, I got the new brow definer. This was $23. Now, I'm a big brow junkie. That's probably one of my biggest areas that I have like a lot of different things because I want to find something that's affordable but works really well. So I have a pretty big collection as far as brow products go. Also, my hair color changes a lot. Sometimes it's a brighter red, sometimes it's a darker red. It's always a variation of some sort of red color. So I have different colored eyebrow pencils to kind of suit the different changes I've made. But when I went into Sephora, real quick, I'll share the few things that I did get. I went in to check out the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Stick Foundation. This was like 43 bucks or something like that. So I'm gonna test it out and give you guys a review on it later. I'm wearing it today and it looks really nice, but I picked that up. And then of course I'm also a concealer junkie. Really, I'm just a makeup junkie, but I have a bunch of concealers too. That may be the next thing we do because I have so many of those. But I got the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Concealer as well. I know these are some newer products on the market and a little bit of hype is built up around them. I'm guilty of being sucked right into that stuff. And then of course the Anastasia Brow Definer is what I went in there to check out, and then I remembered the Makeup Forever stuff. So that's what prompted me to do this video, was just to share my collection because I have high-end and I have drugstore, and I wanted to kind of give you an overview of all the products in case you're looking for some of these things, and maybe I could help guide you better as to what you should spend your money on and where you should save it. I will say the drugstore is stepping up their game so much. 2 of my favorite foundations happen to be drugstore. One of them is like $6 or $7. And I could not be happier about that. And I also found an awesome primer from the drugstore. So I definitely want to share all of those things with you. And maybe if you have drier skin and you're having a problem finding things that work for dry skin, maybe some of my foundation and powder picks will help you guys out as well. But for now, we're talking about brows. So let's go ahead and get started. So I mentioned this, and I got it in the shade Auburn. And this one, I have my 3 other Brow Wizzes. So these are the Brow Wiz, and this is the Brow Definer. Obviously, the Brow Definer is a lot thicker in circumference, and it has more product, like 0.05 ounces or something like that. It's not a huge difference, but it is thicker, and it has a different spoolie end. Okay, so this is what the tip looks like. Now, this is brand new to me. So I only used it today, and I think my brows are pretty good. I think they're a little bit thick, but I don't really have much brow to work with, so I thought this would be a good idea for me because of how big the tip is. It could really help guide the inner part of my brow, which is the more sparse area of my brow. But the spoolie is bigger too, and I really like this spoolie. Let me show you a comparison of the other. So you can see the spoolie is a lot bigger. It also feels a lot softer, and I really love the spoolie. So I will say, when I am done with this product, if I don't repurchase it, I will keep it because the spoolie is really good on this one. Okay, so I've got the Brow Wiz in Auburn and the Brow Definer in Auburn. So I'll go ahead and swatch those two just for a color comparison, because I've heard a few people say the colors are different. Okay, there they are swatched. They look pretty identical to me. I don't see much of a difference. The only thing you could do differently is based on the pressure you use to be darker versus lighter. But I think I like the Brow Wiz for the outer, like the tail, just to get it more defined. I think this is a little bit clunky for that, but again, I've only used it the one time, so I can't tell you for sure yet, but I do like it, and I think the formula is pretty much the same. It's just a bigger pencil. So I have the Brow Wiz in 3 different shades here. I have it in Auburn, dark brown, and soft brown. I don't think I'm going to do like a whole arm full of swatches for you guys, but it's just different shades that I've used, either because my hair was a darker red, and my eyebrows are actually naturally very, very dark, and my hair is naturally very, very light. So it's kind of an odd combination, so I keep a darker hair color. And I've tried eyebrow bleach and it worked, but it's a scary thing, I will tell you. It's a very scary thing. I didn't want to lose all of my brows because I don't have that many to begin with, but that's a whole nother topic we can talk about another day. So are these worth the $20+ price tag? That's hard to say. It used to be, until a new product came to the market, and I'll talk about that next. Okay, I have the NYX Micro Brow Pencils, and I have the shades Auburn and the shade Chocolate. Now I will swatch the Auburn just to give you an idea of the color difference. So this one on the far side over here is the NYX Auburn. It is a lot lighter. I would say it's kind of the same shade as the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Caramel. So I would say if you're in the caramel, go ahead and go with the Auburn from NYX, because it's about the same shade. I used to have the pencil, but I ran out, but I do have the pomade, and we'll get into those as well. But I do think when it comes to picking the NYX or the Anastasia, I would go with the NYX. I think they perform exactly the same, the longevity is the same, and they're half the price. So in my opinion, drugstore wins against the higher end with this type of brow product. Okay, I've got 2 other brow pencils here that are, I guess they're considered high end. I have the Ofra eyebrow in the shade Universal. Now this came in a BoxyCharm, but I think this is like a $20 pencil, I'm not sure. But this one is a little bit drier of a formula. There it is there. It kind of looks like the rest of them. I like it okay. I wouldn't purchase it because the price is a little high. It doesn't come with a spoolie. It's not really anything that special. And if you're going to go with a brown color, I would just get like a CoverGirl eyeliner pencil if you're a brunette, because that's going to give you almost the exact same effect. So I wouldn't purchase the Ofra one. I don't think it's special, but I have it, so I use it. The next one is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Waterproof Perfector. And this one's in the shade Auburn. I haven't used this in a while because the last time I used it, I didn't really like it. Now it's a dual-ended. It has the spoolie on one end. It's a very short, stubby one. It's not the best spoolie in the world. And then the pencil twists up, and this is the product. Now this one I will swatch because it's in the shade Auburn. It's kind of similar to the NYX one in Auburn. It's a little bit lighter, but I do not love this formula. I think it's very creamy and maybe a little too waxy, The last time I used it, it kind of made my eyebrows look like cement and like stuck them down. Like, it was just an unflattering look. So I haven't decided. I obviously didn't throw it away because I only used it one time, and it was about the same price as Anastasia. It's in the $20 range. I have to play with it more. Maybe there's other products that would work better with it, but my opinion is don't purchase this. Now, this is not the same as their skinny brow pencils and their universal one that is a drier formula. That one's good. It's just this one is it's brow power, and the packaging looks different. This is in silver. I just don't like this formula, but the other brow pencil from IT Cosmetics is pretty good. I've got two more high-end brow products here, and these are from Lorac Pro. I have it in the shade Auburn, of course, I always get Auburn, and then light brown. Now, when my hair was a brighter red, the light brown pencil from Lorac works really well. This formula is a little bit different as well. It is kind of similar to the Anastasia pencil. It's very skinny and it twists up, but it does not twist back down. So if you go up too high, you're stuck. So just keep that in mind if you decide to pick this up. It's the same price as the Brow Wiz, but it will not turn back down. And it is, okay, this one comes with 0.002 ounces. The Brow Wiz comes with 0.003. So you're getting less product and it's the same price. I wouldn't purchase it. I like it and I use it often. I use all of these products all the time. I bounce back and forth, but I wouldn't recommend it. No, it's not worth, you're not getting more product and it's not any better than the Brow Wiz in my opinion. It's a great pencil and I like it, but you can see it's a lighter shade. The formula is good. I don't see anything like negative to say except price is high and it's really just not worth it. And the caps for the spoolie end never stay on, so I've lost both caps to these because they just don't secure very well. That may or may not be a deal breaker for you, but in my opinion, I just wouldn't purchase these because you can get a better brow product for the same or an even cheaper price. So keep that in mind. Okay, I've got a few drugstore brow pencils here. I have I think this is a newer one from Maybelline. It's the Brow Define and Fill Duo. I got this shade Blonde because they just looked so dark. This end comes with the little sponge tip and then there's powder inside the cap, which is a really cool idea. I like it. And then this side is the pencil and it's a twist up, and that one is a little bit lighter. It's right over here. So this won't really work for me right now, but when my hair was a little bit lighter, it worked okay. This, I would say, is a really good drugstore option. I would say this one or the NYX one are really good. I think what sets this apart is the brow powder option on this end, but you'd have to trade off and get a separate spoolie, which isn't a big deal. You can get those in little baggies or keep one of your old brow pencils that has one, you're fine. But yeah, I really do like this and I would recommend it. I think it's very unique. And then I also have it in the shade Soft Brown. Now, the one complaint I have about these Maybelline pencils is there is not a single one for redheads. So it's either blonde, brunette, or basically like ebony or black. And this is the dark brown right over here. Or actually, no, that's not dark brown. It's soft brown right there. And you can see that's pretty dark for a soft brown. So I think the color selection isn't the greatest on this, but if you're a brunette, you're probably going to find your shade. So for me, as far as drugstore, I still think the NYX pencil wins it because they have a better color selection. Next, I have the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Now this one comes with the spoolie and then the pencil on this end. And it's a little bit thicker of a pencil. And this one is in the shade, okay, it's in the shade Taupe. And that's what it looks like right there. So again, it's more geared for brunettes, maybe blondes, but if you're a redhead, you're not gonna find a ton of options at the drugstore, which is why I have so many Anastasia products, because they catered to so many different hair colors, and then NYX picked up on that and started creating it. So overall, NYX is the winner in my book, just based on price and your color availability. And then the last drugstore brow pencil is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Sculptor. Well, this one comes with a brush on the cap. Not the best brush, to be honest, but it'll work. And then here's the pencil. So this is a sharpening type pencil. Is in the shade Brunette. And it is a pretty dark one. And the formula is a little bit not quite as, like the Anastasia and the NYX formula is a little bit better. It's just easier to work with. It's waxy enough but still dry enough to create natural hair strokes. This isn't that kind of formula. It's a little too creamy to create a natural hair brush stroke, but in a pinch it works, but I wouldn't recommend it. I just bought it to test it. And then the other side has a little waxy pencil. I don't ever use it. I just don't think it's anything that great. So I would pass on this from the drugstore. Okay, next I want to talk about brow pomades. I have 3 of them here. These I liked because I feel like you get the most bang for your buck. However, there's a pretty big learning curve with these because you can really go overboard with the pomade, but you can really go overboard with the pomade, so you definitely want to practice and take a very light hand with it. I use them all the time. I love them. They last a long time. And for the size, you get 4 grams or 0.14 ounces from Anastasia, and these are around $18. The brow pencils were $21, and you're getting a fraction of that amount. So I feel like these are definitely more bang for your buck. However, they can dry out, so you'll want to use something. I use like my own like argan oil or something like that, and just dip it, just drop a little tiny drop in the corner and mix it around, and it works fine for me. But I would say these will give you the most bang for your buck. So I've got 3 shades here, and this is what the pots look like. I have, of course, the shade Auburn right here. And that is what it looks like. I've gone through this one more than the others, but I did switch to a lighter shade recently. That is what Auburn looks like. I've also got the shade Caramel, and this is the one I've been using recently. It's just a little bit lighter, and that's what it looks like. So this is a little bit newer of one. Okay, so here is Auburn right here, and then Caramel right beside it. The last one I have is in Soft Brown. I get a lot of brunette shades, 1 because they're always available, but 2, I can still kind of make them work and use some sort of powder to give it a redder tone. But that is what it looks like. This one's pretty dried up. I haven't used this one in a long time. You can see it there. It's kind of a warmer brown color. Since we're talking about the pomades, one tool that will be absolutely necessary is a brow brush. Now both of mine are from Anastasia. This is my favorite brush. This is brush number 12, and this is brush number 7. Other than the length, the difference is going to be in the tips. So brush number 7 right over here is bigger, and then brush number 12 over here is just a little bit smaller and more precise right here. So I use brush number 12 all the time because it's perfect for my brows. It just fits the inner portion perfectly and creates a nice line that's even. I just feel like the number 7 is a little too thick. But these are great brushes, and they come with these spoolies on the end. So I really do like these brushes. I will say that is one area you probably should splurge on, because a brush is going to last you a really long time. And I just feel like the drugstore brushes are way too thick. Like right here you can see how thin that is. And the drugstore ones are usually about twice the thickness, and that doesn't really work for getting a precise line. So I would splurge and get the Anastasia brow brushes because they are worth it. Next, I want to talk about brow powders. Now, this, honestly, I have a few of them here. In my opinion, you're probably better off with just using an eyeshadow. It's basically the same thing, but I will show you the ones that I have. I've got this really cute one from Urban Decay, the brow box. The packaging is adorable. But when you open it up, it's got a wax right here and then 2 different powders. And I use this once in a while. This is probably one I would like to travel with though, because it has the mirror, and then inside it has 2 angled brushes and a pair of tweezers. So I really do like how compact it is and how it's packaged. I think it's great for travel because of that. I don't remember seeing a red shade from them. This one, I don't know if the shade is called Honey Pot, but that's what the box says. But it's basically just a brown powder. Next, I have one from The Balm, and this one is called Brow Pow. And this one, I believe, is, yeah, the shade Light Brown. Again, red is a harder powder to find for brows, but that is what it looks like. It's a pretty good powder. I don't have any complaints about it. I wouldn't spend the money. I think it's probably somewhere around like $15 or something like that. I wouldn't spend that money because you could get a Makeup Geek eyeshadow for $6. It's the same size. It'll do the same thing. So that's my stance on powders. I have 2 more here from Anastasia. This is the old packaging, and this one is in the shade Dark Brown. The girl that matched me at Ulta back then, I probably had a pretty dark hair color, so she recommended this one. And of course you can see I put a pretty good dent in it, but this is pretty old. I probably need to get rid of this, and I don't use that shade anyway. But I do like the packaging on the older one. And this is the newer packaging. It's black with rose gold. It's still cute, but I just like the metal one. I think it just looks a little bit more luxury. This one is in the shade Auburn, and that is what it looks like. And I really do like this one. If you have red hair, I would still recommend getting something like this because it's going to last you a really long time, and red is a very hard color to find. I think Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear works pretty okay on me. I've used it before in a pinch. The Anastasia Maya Mia palette, and all of her colors are available. I think the shades Caramel and the shade Sienna are also good colors for brows. I use that one all the time. So it just depends. I would probably get the eyeshadow from Anastasia instead of brow powder because it's just a little bit more uses. You can use it obviously for eyeshadow or your brows. So that's my recommendation as far as powders go. This is a long video. I'm so sorry. We are almost to the end. I've got 1 wax pencil, and this is so pathetic. It's so small. I went through this like crazy, but I haven't been using it in a while because I've just found other products that work. But this is the Anastasia Brow Wax. You can see it's almost nothing. It's seen its days, but it's a good wax. But I think Milani makes one that is comparable to this if you're a wax user. I'm not really one that uses a lot of wax. I just don't feel like I need it. But if you do, I would try the Milani one and save a few bucks there. Next, I have some brow gels here. I've got the Cella Eyebrow Defining Gel, and this came in a BoxyCharm. I like it just fine. I won't repurchase it. I don't think it's any different, any better than the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, so it was good because it came in a box, but other than that, I won't repurchase it. Then I have these. These are all Anastasia brow gels. Now I will say, I think this is where you should splurge because I think Anastasia brow gels are just the best. I haven't found one that I like better, so I would purchase the higher end. I've got the travel size one. I think came in a little kit, and it's just a clear brow gel. And then of course I have the full size of the Anastasia brow gel. And then I have 2 tinted ones. And I love the tinted ones because if you go a little too heavy-handed with your eyebrow, whether you use a pencil or a pomade or a powder, and it gets too dark, you can use a colored brow gel to easily lighten it. So I have the shade Caramel, and I also have the shade Brunette. And Brunette is a warmer brown, so I like that. It's a little bit lighter than Auburn, because I didn't really want Auburn if all my brow products are in that color and I need something lighter. I feel like Brunette is good to lighten up, and also Caramel is a good color to lighten up if you have a reddish tone hair. Last few products here. This is the Anastasia Beauty Genius, and it's a clear waterproofing gel. I've used it on my brows. You can use it for your lashes, but since I've used it for my brows, I don't touch my lashes with this. It works great. I don't have complaints about it, but NYX has one, and I have that product somewhere. I went looking for it earlier and I can't find it. But it's the exact same thing. It's waterproofing gel, and it's specifically for your eyebrows, and it comes with a spoolie on it. That one is way better because it's got a spoolie tip, which is more convenient. It's a lot cheaper, and it is exactly the same as the Anastasia one. Exactly. So I would not purchase this one. I would just get the NYX one. Next, I have the Gimme Brow from Benefit. A lot of people love this. I don't love it, and I don't hate it. I'm not gonna bash it, but I just don't love it. What I do love is the tiny spoolie. That is great. I think that's fantastic. The fibers, they work. I just have such sparse brows that I really need to fill them in with another product, and I might coat them with this, but I just don't like this color on me, and their color selection isn't the greatest either. They have, this is light medium, and then I think they have like medium dark. That's it. There's no like blonde or red or black. It's just an ashy color, and I need a warmer color to match my hair. So that's my stance on it, but if you're not a redhead, you'll probably love it. I just don't like it because it's not a great color selection for me. A couple random things here. This is another Benefit product, and this is the Highbrow. This is just a highlighting pencil. You don't have to get a high-end one of these. I probably came in a kit or something. Probably with that brow, the Gimme Brow or something. But it is a really pretty color, and it is nice to highlight the brow bone. There it is right there. But honestly, you don't need to buy a specific product for the brows when it comes to highlighting. You could use like a NYX Jumbo pencil that's a shimmery color, or any drugstore chubby pencil like this that's just like a satin color that you like would be perfect. I don't see the need to purchase something like this. And then my last product is kind of a random one. It is from CoverGirl, and it is called the Brow Plus Liner Powder, and this is what it looks like, and it has like a little ball inside to shake it up, and then it comes with this little tip. I will tell you though, these colors are super dark. This one I think is in the shade Blonde, and it's really dark. So there it is right there. Right here. So it's super dark. However, it is a really great powder. I really like this, especially on the tail end of my brow if I need to darken it up. This works great for that. It's super inexpensive. I've never used it on my eyes. I don't think that would be the best use for this, but because of how small and precise the end is, I think it's a great brow powder, and Blonde actually works pretty well for me because it's pretty dang dark. So I would recommend checking this out. You may like it, but I would definitely go at least 1 to 2 shades lighter than what you think you are, because it is so much darker than what they advertise the shade to be. Alright guys, well that is everything as far as brows go. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. I know this is a longer video. I will definitely do as much editing as I can to condense it and make it as short as I can, but I really wanted to be thorough at the same time to kind of explain where you should spend your money and where you should save it. But yeah, that is my brow product collection. I hope you guys liked it. Definitely leave me a thumbs up or comment below if you want to see this series continue, and I can go over each section, like the concealers and foundations and blushes and things like that. But yeah, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.